Welcome back to the channel, YouTube. Episode 2 of the Gold Crown 1 is here, and on the screen right now is a bunch of crazy banks. And the reason we have a bunch of crazy banks on the screen is because cushions and rails specifically is what I'm going to talk about are crucial for the way a pool table plays. Now, in pool rooms prior to 61 mainly, they had rails like this. It's a T-rail, it's called, where the bolts come in from the side. Those little rosettas you see on the side is the actual rail bolt going through the apron, not the rail, into the side of the slate where it had an insert. It was just not anywhere near as good of a design as this. Bolts come from the bottom, bolt straight into the actual rail top of the rail, and it draws it down tight on the slate. A much better design, and you could see shots like these just left and right and center after that. Now, why did pool rooms start putting gold crowns in is the reason why we had way more consistent pool tables after 1961. Prior to 61, old pool rooms weren't upgrading 10, 12, 15 tables to a new expensive table for that reason alone. All these new pool rooms that were popping up after the Hustler all had to buy new pool tables, so they got gold crown ones and unfortunately left old pool rooms in the dust. Let's get into the video. All right, got the legs outside up on some horses here. Going with some Rust-Oleum double cover semi-gloss. Scuff up the whole thing with that so the paint can stick. It's just, I cannot get the yellow out of it. It's super yellow, I think from like cigarette smoke probably. But I'm gonna cover up all these labels and stuff with some painter's tape, mask it off, and start laying down some bright white. All right, so I scuffed this with degreaser, and then I came back through and scuffed it again with some paper. Then I wiped it all down with mineral spirits and blocked off the labels I want to keep. I'll touch those up by hand later with a little brush, and we'll get some color on this. All right, here we are with Pops. Just got done with a 14-hour pull session. Stop it in to help me get this set up. Got the white paint and the polished levelers on. We're gonna put the top of the frame on, kind of get it measured up here and centered. As you can see, the reflection of the carpet in that paint, I mean, it turned out so good. All right, so we are getting up some lights for the pool table so that we have good light for not only to play, but to finish the videos for our restoration. So get the rest of these lights up and we'll start tearing her down. And what we're gonna do today, and get a look at these cushions and get these aprons off and just get these, get this thing ready to see what all we need to fix. I'll be showing you little tricks how to get these screws to stay tight, and I got some secret sauce to put on old cushions to make sure that they stay real nice. Anyway, gonna get this apart. All right, guys, so really good news. I pulled back the rail cloth and I looked, and we are working with original Monarchs. So that is great news. They're in good shape. I got something that I put on cushions to help them play better and preserve longer. So I'll rub that on them multiple times from now until the time the rail cloth goes back on the table, and it'll help out a ton. Anyway, that's big news, so let's keep getting this thing torn apart. Just to show you real quick how they come apart, I will show you how it goes back together, but pockets are held in with screws that go in right here. Aprons hook into this channel right here, and then they bolt together, which kind of pinches everything in and hooks that channel right there. So that's what I'm doing now. Got two of them off, one outside ready for paint, and we're getting there, guys. Now, unfortunately, we did not do this, but as you can see here, we have an issue here we'll have to fix. Just some glue and a clamp. Really won't be a big issue at all. All right, rail box and everything fully disassembled. Gonna just polish these up the best I can. Not gonna do anything crazy with them. Repair everything that needs repaired to make it play well. Some of these strips are loose, need to find a way to tighten those. The formica and all the rail top stuff is actually in pretty bad shape, needs polished, cleaned up as best as possible. Need to get in here with something to scrub this up, make it look newer. But yeah, next thing we're gonna do is paint the aprons white, and then we'll come back in here and get to work. All right, guys, Ed and Danny here. Sorry, I did not take video of fixing that apron. As you can see out there, it is clamped into place. Simple fix, didn't miss much. It was just wood glue with a clamp. I let it dry. Pretty simple, straightforward fix on that. However, guess what year my Mustang is in the comments below, and let me know if you think that it's quick or not. Back to the video. All right, so it is so windy, I can't film any part of the painting, but I might be able to get a little glimpse here if it calms down enough. But that's right there would be one coat of primer, one coat of paint, and I should have enough to do like another, at least one more coat of paint. They're turning out good. The legs turned out well also. So I'm hoping that we're good to go. While we're looking at stuff here, I mean, if you can see, I don't know if it'll show up real good, but man, look at all the problems that we have going on the formica. So it's going to be a lot of tedious work to make this table look as good as I want it to, but we will get there. So anyway, back to work. All right, so the paint's drying. We're taking some shots here at seeing what we need to do to clean up some of the metal parts. They're not going to end up being perfect probably because of them being anodized, but we're just going to hit them with some wire wheels, some red Scotch-Brite, stuff like that, and see what we can get, and then polish them a little bit and probably just call it a day. Not going to do a full on, like pay someone to refurbish the anodized or powder coat, anything like that. Just going to get this as good as we can and go from there. All right, so what we're gonna do is just get a wire wheel again and hit this aluminum with some of the wire wheel and see where we end up. I don't know, see how the camera's picking it up, but you can see that this side is significantly better, and that's working really well. So we'll finish out with that, and then we'll hit it with some of that polish and see how it goes. All right, so I actually forgot that I had these abrasive, like maroon Scotch pad wheels for the Dremel. I'm gonna hit it with that and see, maybe we can just skip past the polishing part and just kind of brush this stuff. Okay, wow, that worked so good. Did I just find this out live on YouTube? How to refurbish anodized? I'll compare it to the other one quick. All right, now keep in mind that this one actually was the better of the two prior. I wish I'd have done this one first and compared this one because this one was way dirtier. But anyway, it still looks incredible. I can't believe how good that looks. All right, so the score counter has actually turned out phenomenal. I did hit this with a Scotch-Brite pad and that Scotch-Brite wheel on the Dremel, and it's just not coming out real good like I want it. So I'm gonna try a polishing wheel with some polish and see where we get. Brought some shine back to it, and I'm gonna scuff it by hand with the Scotch-Brite, and I think that'll actually get to where I kind of want it to be. And in all honesty, that's all I really want. I know that I'm not gonna get anything like perfect or crazy shiny out of this, but just that little bit of shine with a little bit of brush on top, I'm perfectly fine with this. I'm gonna do the other three.